Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series on operating system. I am Mrs. Gitanjali Mahamunkar, lecturer and research scholar at Department of Computer Engineering, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, Lonere. The books that I have referred for this lecture series is Operating System Concepts and Operating System by Chud Godbole. This is the third lecture of this lecture series, that is Types of Operating System Part 1. Part 1 because I'm going to not cover all the types in this lecture series, but at the end of this lecture series you will be able to enlist the types of operating system, explain what is a batch operating system, describe the concept of spooling, then next explain multi-programming operating system and explain time-shared operating system, as well as compare both the multi-programming operating system and time-shared operating system. For the previous two lectures of this lecture series, please refer to my channel Learn with GSM and subscribe to my channel for more such lectures. The different types of operating system are batch operating system, multi-programmed operating system, time-shared operating system. These are the first three operating systems that we are going to cover today. Then multiprocessor operating system, distributed operating system and real-time system. The remaining ones are mobile operating system such as Android operating system and iOS. Then you have command line based operating system such as DOS and Unix. Then you have GUI based operating system like Windows. So let us move on to the first type of operating system, that is batch OS. Now in case of batch operating system, you can imagine it to be the something which was the most earliest type of operating system, the first operating system where you had when you had computers as big as a room. At that time you had a computer operator to whom the users submitted their jobs to be processed, okay, and then the computer operator like sorted these jobs based on the similarity of their needs, and they were batched together to speed up processing into different batches. Now each job in a batch was independent of the other job of the batch. Now what is this is the concept, and then these batches were submitted, these jobs were submitted in batches to the computer for processing. So the batch system actually, you can say, is a collection of is something that processed a collection of jobs, and batch is a sequence of user jobs. Now what is a job? It is nothing but a predefined sequence of commands, programs and data that are combined into a single unit, okay. And there was something called batch monitor, which was used to implement batch processing system. It is also known as kernel, which resided on one part of the computer main memory, okay, and the memory allocator managed the main memory space, and batch monitor controlled the sequence of events. Now the computer operator actually a scheduling was implemented in a very simple manner, like the jobs were processed in the order of submission, that is first come first serve fashion. The computer operator gave command to start the processing of a batch. Kernel set up the processing of the first job, and the job was selected from the job queue and loaded into the main memory. When the job completed its execution, the memory was released, and the output for the job was copied into an output spool for later printing. Now what basically is a spool? Spooling is an acronym for simultaneous peripheral operation online, that is spool, okay. It used a disk as a large buffer for outputting data to printers and other devices. So it could be used for input also, but it is generally used for output. And next it referred to putting jobs in buffer or on a disk where a device can access them when it is ready, okay. A spooler, for instance, could be reading the input of one job while printing in the output of different job. So in a way, a simple kind of multi-programming was achieved through this. Okay, so spooling batch system were the first and simplest form of multi-programming systems. Okay, now the advantages being it used disk as a very large buffer, and it was capable of overlapping input output operation for one job with processor operations for another job. Okay, and advantages of batch operating system, the first one was much of the operator's task was transferred to the computer, whereas the second one is improved performance as a job started as soon as the previous job was finished. Okay, so if these were the advantages, what were the disadvantages? Now it had high turnaround time. Now what is the turnaround time? It is the time elapsed between the submission of the job and the output of the job. Okay, so from user's point of view, it had high turnaround time. Then the program debugging was also difficult because the user had no contact or no interaction with the job once the user submitted it to the computer operator until the user got the output. Okay, so the program debugging was difficult. Then possibility of jobs entering into an infinite loop was also very high, and when a particular job could affect another job in the same batch, and also if a job corrupted the batch monitor, then it affected the pending jobs, the other jobs in the batch. So next we can say is the multi-programming operating system, which is a better version of batch operating system, because even in this case there was no user interaction provided with the program, but it increased CPU utilization because number of programs resided in memory, because as you all know, to a program to execute, it has to be in memory, right? So number of programs when they reside in memory for execution, we say it is multi-programming operating system, and it increased the CPU utilization. So in a way resource management was done properly. Also there are other components that are of operating system that are important in this case, like job scheduling, CPU scheduling, memory management, because a job pool consisting of processes residing on disk and waiting to allocate primary memory is present, right? And job scheduling concept is used if there is no space for process in the primary memory. Then CPU scheduling is applied for selecting process from memory, like if you have number of processes in memory, which one to select for processing, so that is called CPU scheduling. And memory management is also required to manage the memory for processes, to keep them in memory, right? But there was no user interaction allowed in this case. Now you can imagine the multi-programming operating system layout in this way. Like if you may have a operating system kernel as the topmost layer, then there is a program, suppose, which is performing input output operation. Below that could be a program which is waiting for the CPU, as there is some other program below it which is under execution by the CPU. So until this program 3 releases the CPU, program 2 cannot get the CPU. Okay, and program 1 is busy in performing input output operation, interacting with the hard disk and all for the same. Okay, so this is how you can imagine to be a multi-programming operating system to be. Okay, working of a multi-programming operating system to be. So the advantages of multi-programming operating system are, first, the CPU utilization is high, because that is what is the main or primary objective of multi-programming operating system. And the second is that it increases the degree of multi-programming, that is how many programs are there in memory and how many you can actually like run simultaneously in a way, how many you can actually make the how busy you can make the CPU to be. Okay, so this is high degree of multi-programming. Then disadvantages of multi-programming operating system is that it needs CPU scheduling and memory management to take care of all this, like to achieve multi-programming. Okay, so there is a added overhead for the operating system. The next is time shared operating system. Basically, it is also called multitasking operating system. It is just a logical extension of the multi-programming operating system. Okay, you can imagine time shared operating system to be something which gives you a feel कि number of processes are running simultaneously. Multiple tasks are carried out by just a single CPU simultaneously. Like you can have a word program, you can have a web browser running at the same time, you can have a database that is getting updated simultaneously, and also some sorting searching program executed by the operating system. Actually what happens is these all are actually sharing the time of the CPU. Okay, they are actually running one after the other, but you get a feel that they are running simultaneously, because what happens is they are given time quantums, small time quantums for to each of the process. Okay, and a particular process or a program runs for that particular time quantum, and once the time quantum expires, the other program in the list is executed for again the same time quantum, and thus each goes on running for a particular time quantum, and the shifting is so fast that you get a feel that each program is running simultaneously on the machine. It involves the concept of virtual machine. Okay, it creates virtual machine one per user, and user interaction with the system is done by using virtual machine. Okay, it is more complex than multi-programming operating system, as it also takes the help of file system, and file system is stored on disk, so disk management is also involved in this case. And the major problem with time sharing system is protection and security of data. So the difference between multi-programming and multitasking OS is context switching. In multi-programming you use context switching. Okay, and in multi-time sharing system, like in time sharing system, each user is like you give an impression that the entire system is dedicated to that user. Okay, so if we so time shared operating system is basically multitasking operating system and not multi-programming operating system, and in multi-programming user interaction is not allowed, but in time shared operating system user interaction is possible. Now let us compare time sharing operating system with multi-programming operating system. It enables time sharing operating system enables execution of multiple tasks to increase CPU performance, whereas in case of multi-programming operating system, multiple programs reside in the main memory simultaneously to improve CPU utilization. So time sharing operating system does improves CPU performance, whereas multi-programming operating system improves CPU utilization. Time sharing is based on time sharing concept, and here multi-programming is based on context switching concept. Time sharing operating system allows multiple processes to run simultaneously via time sharing, whereas in case of multi-programming operating system, our focus is to reduce the CPU idle time. You don't want the CPU to remain idle, whereas in time sharing operating system, less time is there to execute the allocated task. Okay, because each gets a particular time quantum, and it can run only for that time quantum at that instance. It will come back, it will again get the chance, but it will run only for that particular time slice. Again, and it will have to shift the CPU, it will have to release the CPU to the other process. And in multi-programming operating system, more time is given to execute the process, because the main intention is to keep the CPU busy. So main objective in case of time sharing is to minimize response time, because this is where user interaction is involved. Okay, so for if wherever user interaction is involved, we expect minimum response time from the system. When a user interacts with the system, it expects lesser response time. Okay, and whereas in multi-programming operating system, the main objective is to maximize the processor use, how we can utilize the CPU optimally. Okay, maximum time. So what we have learned today is the different types of operating system, but we have discussed only batch operating system, multi-programming operating system, time sharing operating system. The remaining ones we'll see in the further parts. And we have also discussed the concept of spooling related to batch operating system. So this was all for today, and the question bank that you can answer after attending this lecture is, and you can enlist the different types of operating system, you can explain batch operating system, describe the concept of spooling, as well as compare time shared operating system and multi-programming operating system. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Please like, comment and share this video, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.